Hi, and welcome to the tutorial on invisible track. Today we're going to go through and find some invisible track on the download station. Then we're going to find some boats and planes and also some helicopters. And then we'll place them around some of the layout and see if we can make some interesting scenarios happen with these particular items. Okay, let's go to Trainz Content Manager, download station, and we're going to find some invisible track. That's a bit of a think. You can always, there's plenty on there, you can always filter by the latest upload date, which we were already. And I'm pretty sure this one works fairly well, is the invisible track BNSF50. So we'll go ahead and download that. Also start Trainz up. And we will go ahead and start a new route. See if there is any invisible track already that exists. And there are quite a few. So you don't have to use anything from the download station if you don't want. Just raise it a little bit. So that one's quite a small line to see in Surveyor. So it's up to you. They all do the same thing. These are only guides in Surveyor, so you can see the line. In Driver, you won't actually see anything. It'll be invisible. And there are other tracks here as well that you can go ahead and play with. So there's a few included, and I'll just get rid of the ones we just added. And the one I downloaded has now installed, and this is it here, I'm pretty sure, yep. So invisible track BNSF50. I like it because the line is very easy to see in Surveyor. But again, you can go and use whichever one you want. So let's go ahead and lay some of these down. If you have a rather large route, it's always nice to lay a few of these across your route in certain areas, or even loop it, so that you can get your planes flying around in a circle in a big radius, so that it doesn't look like they're flying back and forth along the same line. It kind of looks like they're coming and going. So once you get the height you want, and it's probably, you're going to have a lot more things in your route than a blank baseboard, but let's put a tree down so that we can get an understanding of how high it is off the ground. So once you get the height you want for the plane to fly, let's just say it's that height. That's what we're going to go with. A good way to do it is to now get the vertex height. So we select that, get vertex height, which is 114 meters, and we then apply the vertex height to all the other vertices that we've got. So we click apply, and we go back to adding some more track, and we'll finish up back where we started. And it's up to you whether you want your planes to fly in a straight line along the same height. Sorry, along the same height, not in a straight line. Or you can adjust a few of these a little differently, so it's a bit more random. So that's going to be how our plane's going to fly around, or our helicopter, whichever we decide to download. And then you can do the same, obviously, if you've got some water. Let's create a little bit of water over here, or a hole to put our water. There we go. Put our water down. Will do. And we adjust the water height. And now we add our spline, our invisible spline. So we'll have the boat go from here, over to here, down to here, around to here, over there, and then we should be able to finish it off back where we started. And again, you want to adjust one of these, get it just the right height where you want it. That was a bit far, wasn't it? About there, should do it. Get our vertex height, -9.55, and then we apply it to each of the other heights. Where are we? One's over here. Nope. One's there. Another one over here. Let me just get this water out of the road so I can see what I'm doing. It's not actually connected up, that would probably help. That one over to here. And there we go. So should be pretty close to what we want. Bring our water back up. Probably put it under the surface because it all depends on how your boat's going to ride on it, but probably somewhere around there. We'll test it out in a sec. So now we have a spline under the water and we have a spline in the air. Let's see if we have anything installed by default. Any boats? Nothing boat. Ship? Nothing ship. Helicopter? Or plane? Nope. Okay, we head to the DLS. Excuse me. And let's type in helicopter. And it's already filtered by the latest, so let's just grab the latest one that was put on the DLS. We'll download that, and let's grab a ship. Again, we'll take the latest, I guess. Again, I don't know what these look like, so I'm just randomly downloading them. We'll pick something else if that doesn't work. While we're here, I may as well download a couple other ones just in case they don't turn out. And we'll get the rescue. Alright, so they're all downloading. While that's happening, I'm going to put a couple of track markers in. Put one here. It says track marker 1. And I'm going to put track marker 2 over here. Track marker 2. And we'll do the same for boat. Track marker water 1. Probably should have named the other one air or something so I can identify it easier. Sorry. And then track marker water 2. Let's go ahead and just change that. Track marker air 1. Always good to make sure you've got everything in the correct way. Helps you out later on when you've got a big route. The other thing we will want is we want to set some speed limits on each of these in case the player wants to know what speed they should be doing, or you can enforce them as well. But for starters, I'll go invisible speed. Seems there's not one there. We'll go and grab one from the DLS. Actually, we'll take it one step at a time. I'll get to that in a sec. Okay, so it looks like some of these have downloaded. All of them have downloaded, actually, which is good. So now we save this, just to make sure we don't lose anything. Visible route. Track. That'll do. Head to our train tab. Look for heli. There we go, we've got a couple there. And we'll put him up here. And he's going to want to go to number 1, which I believe was that one. So we'll spin him around. And we'll put a ship down here. All the ones we downloaded. Install date. Okay, seems... Oh, we're filtering on something different. Ship. Where is it? What is this preview asset? Oh yeah, that'll do. So it's a ship grain river. Maybe it's at the bottom of the list. No. Maybe it's an object. Ship grain river is an object, so that's not going to help us very much. We can plonk it in the middle, I guess. But it's not going to... Oh, it's very big. That's just a plain object, so that's not really what we want. So let's go back to the DLS. Type in filter on the download station, drop these filters down, add a category of locomotive, and type in ship. Filter on the latest date, and we'll get the first one, and maybe this one. Sorry about that. So while that's happening, we'll put a couple of instructions for this guy so that he flies around and around. So go into your session rules. Edit driver setup. And he's already been added, so give him a drive via command, which will be track marker air 1, then drive via track marker air 2, and we'll put the repeat sign there. So he's just going to continue doing that over and over again. So he'll go around and around. We also want to set a speed limit for him, and we can do that by going to the download station, getting rid of our loco category filter. So we're filtering on everything again on the download station. Go to invisible, if I spell it correctly, invisible speed, type that in, and then there's invisible speed signal 2, version 2 is pretty good, I think. So we'll download that quickly. The other ones have downloaded. So one thing at a time, wait for this one to install. Oh, it already has installed. Cool. Invisible speed signal. We jump to our signals area, and there it is there. Invisible speed signal version 2. We drop that on the track. Just there. Spin it in the direction we want. Don't have to, but it's always good. And then you can edit the properties on this. Set it to be kilometers per hour or miles per hour, whichever your route needs. And then add a rule which says the speed limit is disabled, but we click on disabled, and we're going to say you can go at 150 kilometers an hour. Let's just randomly pick that. So now that track has been set to 150 kilometers an hour. So that helicopter will continue going round and round, hopefully at some speed that is close to that. The boat's still downloading, but I believe we have another one downloaded, so we'll go and find that one. Or the ship. Again, I'll save my route. Always save frequently. And this looks like our ship. Go find our spline. Again, you might want to drop the water down just so you can work with this. Put the ship on here. Oh, okay, we've underestimated how big our water needs to be. Yeah, well, based on the ship that we have. What's an easy fix? I could go find a small little boat, which would probably do the trick. Probably in hindsight I shouldn't have typed in ship, it should have been boat. A little dive boat sounds good. Let's check that out. 7 meter, 3 meter boat will be perfect. So those two should be good. Let's get rid of our ship, he's way too big. Type in boat. A drive boat one's probably going to be too big as well. Nope. There you go. And in this particular instance, they have put the offset in their assets, so I would need to put my track a little bit further down. It's this one. This one they haven't. You can see that there's no offset on that one. It's got some nice music. Let's go with that. Why not? It's going to look a little funny when it takes some tight corners, but it will serve correctly for the purpose we need it to do. We sink our boat a little bit. Very good. Let's turn our sound down so you guys don't have to listen to that the whole time I'm talking. There we go. We'll put it down a little bit. Alright. Then we need to give him instructions. Add a driver. Choose Alan. He's in charge of the boat. And we're going to say drive via water 1, drive via water 2, and repeat. And that's it. Provided I have got water 1 and water 2 correct, let's just check. Track markers. Sink our water again just to check. Track marker 1 is over there. That's 2, so we'll just move him because he's going to go to 1 first, which is still work actually. There's no real need to change it. Okay. Sink the boat again. Save that out, and let's just make sure that all that's working for now. So drive. And the helicopter actually has some things that you need to get it working. I think B starts it up. So you need to set that in your session to make sure it goes. It's going to go round and round in the visible track we've added. And the boat's going to go round and round also in the invisible track we added. So this sort of stuff just adds a nice, well, if you get it right, it adds a nice part of AI interacting in your route, so that when someone is driving a session and maybe doing a shunting session or a long haul, then you can see other things going on and around you that makes it come to life even more. So that's just setting up your invisible splines there. You can put as many of them around the route as you want. You can have multiple of them being used. You can also add invisible junctions. He's decided to stop. I think he might be stuck on the angle of our track perhaps, because our helicopter's happy. Let's We'd have to check that one out, but we're going back into Surveyor anyway, so we can have a look. And I'll just show you how you can do junctions in Invisible Track. He's gone to that one. Just going to see the problem, see if I can find out what's going on. If not, I'll move on. Track marker 2 and track marker 1. So there's no real reason why, unless what. Let's see which way it was facing, which shouldn't really play into it. I'm 100% sure why my track has disappeared. Let's exit this. Invisible track. Try again. Track marker. It's going the right way, so let's check our rules. It's no good, our rules have disappeared. I'll have to let the guys know about that one. So let's put them back in. Drive via A, drive via B, repeat. Drive via 1, W1, W2, and repeat. Save that out. That would be because I didn't load up the default session. So that's not really a bug. That's just me being silly. For example, I'll show you guys in case you run into the same issue. It's not the route you want to edit, it's the default session. So that session now has that in it. Okay. And they're set to repeat. So they should be fine. And now for junctions. So if you want to add a junction, you can easily just do it like normal. Click on the track. Easier said than done. Let's click on that marker there. We come over here, we'll fly around over to here, and we will increase the height of this one. Okay, it's going to fly low. So you'll see when you put the junctions in here. Oh, sorry. That we need to put our chopper back on, and you've got a junction visible here which you'll want to get rid of. So if we go into our signals tab, then we're at our trackside objects tab, you can go lever, invisible, and this one creates an invisible lever. So we get rid of the one that is visible, keep the one that's not, and then that's going to be changeable throughout your session, or you can lock it, but you don't have the lever up in the air, making it look a little bit silly if you do. So we put another one in, delete the other one, and that just controls that junction right there. So that's how you can make your invisible track have junctions as well. Obviously line them up a bit better than that. And that's should be pretty much it. Don't know where my helicopter's gone, maybe I deleted it. I don't remember deleting it. Let's add him back in. There we go. I think it should be fine. Yep. And he's back in there because he's number 1, so it's all set up correctly. And that is how you use invisible track. Hopefully it's... Oh, we've got to start him up again. Hopefully it's going to add some extra level of gameplay or realism to your routes. You can see that the junction overlays are there. You can change them up so he'll fly down that way. But if you want to turn them off, you go into hide junction overlays and they're gone. And you can also set that up in the rule for our helicopter stopped again. You can set that up in the actual rule itself, these session rules, to hide them as you go. Not quite sure why our helicopter's stuck there again. Have a look into that and sort it out. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully, like I said, you can add this sort of stuff into your routes.